Aloha, we're from Nanakulio Lelo and you're watching
Youth Capital Commentary.
Aloha, my name is Brittany Pomaya Saleh. I'm in the 10th grade, currently attending Nanakuli High and Intermediate School. Today I'm here with Senator Miley Shimabukuro of District 22. So, Senator, what are your goals for this upcoming legislative session?
Let's see, three of my main priorities for capital improvements. The first is to really look at the homeless problem. And there's it's a 3-acre parcel that's next to Ohana Ola o Kahumana, up in the Valley Lulule area of Kuale Road, and want to try to get funds to make that into a kauhale, so that we can really have a place for the homeless families to go to. The second one is the jetty wall at Pokai Bay. You know, we've gotten so many complaints over the years about people getting staph infections and bacteria in that bay. And so want to get some monies to make some openings in that wall. So I don't know if you've ever been to Magic Island, you know, but if you've seen that bay where there's a jetty wall, but there's openings in the wall. So we want to try to make openings so that the water can flow in and out and can circulate. And then the final is a slaughterhouse for the pig farmers in Waianae. They've organized and they said they really need that to really get their industry off the ground so they can really get more local pork and sheep and that kind of foods into our restaurants and our grocery stores.
What are some more issues that your community is facing and how will you address them?
You know, a big problem, I'm the chair of Hawaiian Affairs Committee. And as you know, we have a huge wait list. There's about 30,000 people on the wait list for Hawaiian Homelands. And luckily, we were able to get $600 million last year in the budget, which was a historic amount. Fantastic. But I got a really sad email the other day. It was a woman that said her mother was on the wait list for decades and had recently passed away. And what DHHL does at that point is they give 180 days notice to the community saying, if anyone's related to this person, you can try to claim their place on the wait list. But in order to claim that, you have to be 50% Hawaiian. And all the children of this woman are 25%. And she said that's so unfair to the family after waiting all this time. And I gave it a lot of thought. And I looked into some research, and there used to be a program called the Undivided Interest, which is basically where they give a family a paper lease. And they say that, you have to go through certain qualifications. And then once you get through that, and once we have a space available for you, get this lot. And a lot of people died without getting their actual lot. But the good thing is they could pass it on to successors who are less than 50%. So I'm going to introduce a bill to say that if you're either 16 over or if you're terminally ill, you can, qualify for a paper lease that you can pass on to your successors.
What are some accomplishments that you are proud of from your last session?
I'm very happy to report that we got more funds into the budget, $31 million. And it's to continue to extend the 5th lane. So one of the things I'm most proud of accomplishing that all of us on the west side, Rep. Eli, Rep. Gates, myself, we all worked very hard together to get the contraflow lane. You're probably too young to remember before the contraflow, but before we had a contraflow, the traffic was really, really bad coming into Nanakuli. It still is, but it's definitely gotten better because as you know, during rush hour coming home, there's these cones that go up, yeah? And a 5th lane was added in. So we got $30 million in the budget to extend that 5th lane to get it further towards Kaena Point. And so DOT is going to work on getting that. And then that'll also, so there'll be more turn lanes coming in. So you'll have a turn lane when you're heading eastbound at Second Save, and then also at the old Kaiser Nanakuli building. So there'll be turn lanes there going eastbound, and then coming home, the contraflow will be longer. And so that was a really proud accomplishment, and I really hope that it's going to help to really improve traffic even more.
Do you have any last words for your constituents?
I guess just mainly to say that it's very important that you continue to be involved, continue to get your voices heard at the Capitol. So many people think that their voice doesn't count, but for those who are watching the election, I won by only 40 votes this time around. And so my hat's off to Samantha DeCord. I had actually a really good opponent. She was very, she reached out to me after the race and even during the race and said she wants to work together. And I so appreciate her for that. But for those 40 people that voted, mahalo, because, if you think your vote doesn't count, it came down to those 40 people who cast their ballot, and that's how I got elected this year. Never thought I'd have a vote that close. And there were other races that were similarly as close as this. And so in our country, we're very lucky that we have a democracy where everyone can vote, people can make their voices heard. And here in our community, we saw how every vote literally counted. And so make sure you get out there, you testify to, so many bills die at the Capitol if no one comes in support of it. And so it's so important, and now it's easier than ever. Even though COVID restrictions have been, eased up a bit, we still allow people to testify remotely at our hearings. And so for those that live in Waianae or Neighbor Island, if you can't be physically present, it's okay. You can tune in, and as long as you submit your testimony like 24 hours in advance, you get a Zoom link and you can be there remotely. So I encourage everyone to be involved.
Mahalo for your time. We wish you the best of luck.
Aloha, my name is Treasure Lewis. I'm in the 11th grade at Nanakuli High Intermediate School, and I'm here with Representative Diamond Garcia of District 42. Aloha, Representative.
Aloha.
So tell me, what are some goals that you have for this upcoming legislative session?
Reduce the cost of living. We saw from last year's numbers that there is just thousands and thousands of local families who are leaving Hawaii because they can't afford to live here. And that's because of these harmful policies being passed by lots of these Democrats in the building. Which increase taxes, which add burdensome regulation to businesses. It's hard to survive. And so our caucus is proposing bills to reduce the cost of living, to cut taxes on groceries, medication, medical services, which would just help local families out a lot.
That's amazing. So leading into that, what are some issues that your community face, and then how do you plan on addressing them?
Well, a big portion of my district in Kapolei is Hawaiian homestead lands. And so we're going to make sure that the $600 million, which the department received last year, uses it properly and thoroughly. No wasting money. Let's build homes where there's 28,000 Hawaiians on a wait list. Lots have died on wait lists. It's been 100 years since the act was passed, and the state has failed their people in fulfilling their obligations. So my office will make sure that we hold their feet to the fire, and that the issues get resolved from that department.
I'm happy to hear that you find that important.
Definitely.
So after that, let's take a step back. What are some accomplishments that you're proud of?
Well, we won the race. That's a big one. I currently serve as the minority floor leader. So my colleagues voted, and they chose me to serve as the GOP floor leader on the House floor. And so my job is basically to represent our party and caucus on the floor and fight against the radical Democrats of Hawaii.
Do you have any last words for your constituents?
Thank you for listening. Olelo's great, and stay involved, get involved in government. God bless.
Mahalo nui for your time.
Thank you.
Aloha, my name is Marcus Meir. I'm in the 4th grade, currently attending Kawai Hona Okinawa Public Charter School. Here I'm with Representative Troy Hashimoto of District 10. So, Representative, what are your goals for this upcoming legislative session?
Well, great being here with you, and I have a lot of goals this legislative session. I think there's a lot of issues facing our community, but I recently was appointed to be the chair of the Housing Committee here in the House of Representatives. So I think a lot of my focus will be on housing issues. I think my goal is to see folks like you to be able to grow up in Hawaii and own your own home and stay in Hawaii, because the fact is that most people's paychecks, when they have to go out into the real world, is that they have to pay for housing, and that's where most of your paycheck will go. And if most of your paycheck is going there, how do you pay for anything else? How do you have fun? How do you take care of your family in other ways? Because most of it is going to housing. So I think one of the biggest things, and it impacts my constituents very big, is trying to bring that costs down so that we can live in a place where we love. Everyone loves Hawaii. But if you grow up here, we want you to stay here, because a lot of our young people are saying, let's go move to Las Vegas or California because it's way cheaper. And that breaks my heart. And so that fundamentally needs to change. That is something that we need to throw a lot of our resources into fixing and making sure that, you know, people like you should be able to have a future if you choose to stay in Hawaii and not have to put everything towards the cost of housing. So that's I think a big idea that we're going to work on. I think it's been a big idea for many years, but we need to continue chipping away at it until we see the results that we want to see.
What inspired you to become a leader?
Well, I think I was inspired to be a leader when I was your age. I used to actually, be involved in student council and always wanted to be a helping hand. And I think, when I was in high school, I was able to come to the state capitol like you are today, and just to see what can be done in this building. And I think that's really what inspired me. It's you're trying to help people, and I think you have to come from a place of wanting to help. And I think as I became an adult, I really wanted to continue helping, and that's why I wanted to run for elective office, because I think this is a place where we can make a lot of change, right, for the positive. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, but this is a place where you have to work within the system over time to see a lot of the results that you want to see. It's not overnight. I think a lot of people want to see things instantly, but sometimes, unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way. It takes some time and a lot of people working together to make that happen. So that's really what inspired me. I think that continues to inspire me every single day, because you have a purpose, right? A purpose of wanting to do better. And so I think that's really what drives me.
What are some problems your community is facing, and how would you address them?
Well, aside from cost of living issues, I think we have a lot of traffic problems in my community, where a lot of my constituents work on other sides of the island, so they're always stuck in traffic, so we need to fix that. We have a health care shortage where we don't have enough nurses and doctors, and so we're trying to work with the University of Hawaii to fix that, so we can actually train our own right on Maui without having to go to Oahu or anywhere else to get those certifications so they can work in our local community. Same thing with teachers. The people that teach you in your classroom, the unfortunate part, if they live on Maui, a lot of times they have to go to another island to get certified, or they're going to have to jump through all these hoops and they just kind of give up and want to go into another profession. So there's so much that we want to do and accomplish that will help our community. And so I think it just takes working together and trying to find those solutions that everyone can agree upon. And, but I think it starts with everyone's community, right? You have to look inside of what's going on in that community, and then you can, you got to get the pulse of people, and that's when you know what to tackle.
Do you have any last words for your constituents?
No, I think it's great that we are back here in person at the legislature. We've been waiting a few years. I got in before the pandemic, so actually I got to experience a lot of this, but there's a lot of members who haven't. I think you can't beat face-to-face interaction, right? I think that's the best way to interact and move pieces of legislation forward. Yes, Zoom has its place, but I think you can't beat being face-to-face and working together on issues. So encourage people to come by, talk story, reach out, and let's move Hawaii forward.
Mahalo, and thank you for your time. I wish you the best luck.
Thank you so much.
Aloha, my name is Melissa Kepo. I'm in the 7th grade, currently attending Ilima Intermediate School. I'm here with Uncle Kawe. Uncle Kawe, what brings you here today?
We've been doing this for 20 years. It's our opportunity to come and lobby the legislators and give them an idea on how they affect us in our community.
Do you have anything you'd like to share with your community legislators?
It's super important that we come out and meet the legislators, get an idea on what committees they sit on, and that's what we're doing here. Yeah, as schools, as community members, try to figure out who is our representatives, what bills they're voting on, and how does it affect you or me. The most important things today is water and aina and food sustainability.
Do you have any last words you would like to share?
I'd just like to encourage the next generation that cattle farming is cool. I farm every single day, and I'm actually just trying to perpetuate the taro breeds so that one day, Manosi, when you decide that maybe you're going to be a taro farmer or you acquire land, that the huli is still available for the next generation.
Mahalo for your time.
Welcome.
Aloha, my name is Tristan Karapani. I'm in the 4th grade, currently attending Kawaihona Okuna'awau Public Charter School. And I am here with Auntie Pumina. So, Auntie Pumina, what brings you here today?
Thank you, Tristin. I'm Pumina Soswa. I'm here with the Hawaii Worker Center and the Kova community of Hawaii. I'm one of the officers for the Kova community. Thank you, Tristin.
Do you have anything to say to your community leaders? Do you have anything to say to your community leaders?
Yes, thank you. To the Kova community out there, I am very happy and proud to be introduced by this beautiful girl. And today is my lucky day. And I wish that every Kova members come out, meet these nice people, and work with them. Thank you.
Do you have any last words for the viewers out there?
For everyone watching this video, I like everyone to come out, meet these people. There are a lot of cultural things going on. We can learn much from each other. We can interact and build a better tomorrow this year, 2023. And Happy New Year, everyone. Aloha, beautiful girl.
Mahalo and thank you for your time.
Aloha, my name is Madison Usui. I'm in the 4th grade, currently attending Kawaiahona Okinawa Public Charter School. I'm here with Representative Kanani Souza. So, Representative, what are your goals for this upcoming legislative session?
My goals for the upcoming legislative session are to pass or get laws passed in which helps our economy thrive, diversifying our economy, and helping our local families thrive.
What are some issues your community is facing and how do you plan to address them?
Sure. Our community is facing some infrastructure issues. We're going to deal with roadway safety and make Kapolei more accessible because it is a second city.
What inspired you to be a leader for your community?
As a native Hawaiian, growing up, on the west side in Kapolei, basically my whole life, and being a student at the Kamehameha schools, I wanted to give back to the Hawaiian community and be a voice for our people, and also simultaneously help our entire state of Hawaii thrive.
Do you have any last words for your constituents?
I am accessible. You can reach me anytime at the Capitol. Please make an appointment or stop in, and I'll be more than happy to talk about your constituent concerns.
Mahalo for your time and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Aloha, my name is Ivani Gomes. I'm in 4th grade, currently attending Nanakuli Elementary School, and today I'm here with Senator Linda Coy of District 7. So, Senator, what are some of your goals for this upcoming legislative session?
Some of my goals is to work collaboratively with everyone here in the building. I think making sure we're all on the same page, being responsible of our natural resources, respecting our local island residents, and trying to educate the community about what we do here, and make sure the priorities that could stem anywhere from education to agriculture to responsible tourism is some of the things I'm looking at.
What are some issues your community is facing? How do you plan to fix them?
Some of the major ones are transportation to and from the islands, medical needs and medical services. We have challenges just on every island of our district in trying to get to and from Honolulu or Maui for those specialty services. So I'm looking at trying to put some kind of incentive or subsidy to make sure that happens, and then work with the Department of Health to make sure air ambulance services are there in needs of our constituents.
What are some goals you're proud of?
Oh, some of the goals I'm proud of is, one, actually just getting here. Two is being able to address the DHHL waitlist and trying to work to making sure the funding mechanism of operations and administration is there to meet the needs of our beneficiaries. Very proud of that. Hoping that in return that the funds that we put there can go back to make sure those positions are available to meet the needs of our Native Hawaiian beneficiaries, and then to expand out in making sure there is a balance between everything from renewable energy and how we can, provide jobs. One of what you're doing, like the industry of filming and making sure the message goes out so that everybody knows when they come to Hawaii, this is where we're at. These are the people that represent Hawaii. And I'm so proud. Nanakuli, go!
Do you have any last words for your constituents?
The building is open. Our office is always open. We're here to listen and then look at some of the ideas that they have and try and incorporate it to meet the needs of every individual here in the state of Hawaii.
Mahalo, thank you for your time. We wish you best of luck.
Thank you. Mahalo.
Aloha, my name is Tristan Karapani. I am in the 4th grade, currently attending Kawaihona Kanawao Public Charter School. And I am here at Representative Il Cochran. So Representative, what are your goals for this upcoming legislative session?
I'm going to solve world peace. No, I am going to work. I'm from West Maui, and my house is District 14, goes from Ma'alaya through the West Maui, Kakaloa, Waihe'e, Wai'ehu area, kind of pretty much the whole entire head of Maui. And so big issues are with the roads. We want to extend the Lahaina bypass right now because a lot of great developments need it to happen. And working on schools, and I can't believe you're only in the 4th grade. You're getting taller than me already, but that's not saying much. And so, but yeah, the schools I know we need teachers. We need funding, housing. Housing is number one for all groups of people, and the environment. We want to talk about our environment is our culture. Our environment is our economy. So we need to protect it. We need to perpetuate our culture. That's what makes all of us unique. That's what makes Hawaii unique, why people visit here, and what makes us who we are. So that we have to protect and perpetuate. So I'm on the Energy and Environmental Protection Committee as vice chair. I'm also on agriculture and food systems. We need to be able to feed ourselves and be self-sufficient, and also on finance. So to make a lot of programs and things happen, we need to fund it. So finance committee will help make that happen. So those are some of the key points that I'll be involved with while I'm here as a representative.
Do you have any issues in your committee, and how do you plan to solve them?
The committees for energy or for, there's cesspool issues going on. There's a mandate, everybody, because that affects our environment. Goes down and can hit our water source. It goes into our marine life. And the energy, we want to not have to ship in fuel. We want to, look around us. We have sun all the time. We have the windsurfing capital of the world is on Maui, Ho'okipa. We have wind energy. We have wave energy. Look at Peahi, Jaws. We have geothermal on Hawaii Island. We have all the makings to be self-sufficient energy-wise. So I think I always said we can be the role model for the rest of the world in this field. It'll bring green jobs. And I'm looking forward to making that happen.
What inspired you to become a representative?
Well, I was before a council member for West Maui, and what got me involved there was I was just a simple little surfer, and a company wanted to develop around the surf spot, Honolulu Bay. So I started Save Honolulu Coalition, and I started educating the community to see if they wanted development, private golf course, gated community, luxury homes where none of us could live in. And everyone said no. I said, okay. And then I had to figure out, who do I need to talk to? I had to talk to the decision makers, the council members, our representatives, people, that are in my seat. So that's what got me interested in running for office and winning the seat and then being able to make those good decisions for all of us, our environment, our people, our community. And I'm still here. So I'm happy and excited for my new term as a House of Representative.
Aloha, my name is Kalena Pulava. I'm in the 9th grade, currently attending Nanakuli High and Intermediate School. Today I'm here with Trustee Keone Souza. So, Trustee Souza, what brings you here today?
Well, I'm here representing the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. I'm the new elected trustee at large, so we represent the state of Hawaii as a whole. There's 9 trustees total, and majority of them are here today. What brings me here is, number one, main goal is we came to support my sister, Kanani Souza, representative for District 43, State House. We also came to represent our friends in the Senate, as well as the House of Representatives. And looking forward to working together, bringing the younger generation together, different organizations together, especially with OHA and the Ledge, to get the job done. It's inspiring to see, I think in the House, there's, 15 or 16 new representatives that we get to work with. So I'm looking forward to working together, like I said, and inspiring the generation after us, the even younger generation, to get the job done. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
What are your goals for this year?
My goals for this year, number one, is bringing everybody together, right? And we have some good bills going on from OHA, Bill 1 and Bill 2. A lot has to do with development. Number one for me is to support our people, and for Office of Hawaiian Affairs, it's the Native Hawaiian beneficiaries, and create more revenue so that we can do more for them. So, thank you.
Is there anything you would like to say to the viewers?
Thank you for your support, number one. You guys been out there. This is my second time running for office, and I didn't give up, and you guys didn't give up on me. So thank you so much. Mahalo.
Mahalo, and thank you for your time. Wish you the best of luck.
Mahalo.
Aloha, my name is Melissa Quapo. I'm in the 7th grade, currently attending Ilima Intermediate School. I'm here with Senator Angus McKelvey of District 6. Senator, what are your goals for this year's upcoming legislative session?
Well, we have a lot of goals because we have a lot of pressing issues, not just for Maui, but across the state of Hawaii. But if I could sum them up in 3 compartmentalized areas, one would be affordable housing and rentals, not only developing affordable housing and rentals, but ensuring that the affordable housing and rentals that we as taxpayers are subsidizing and trying to bring online stay there and don't get flipped into marketplace homes. We need to take a more protective view of the affordable housing we do develop because it's a zero-sum game right now. The other one's education, trying to get more money for educational facilities, trying to build upon our new contracting program that's getting repair and maintenance done. But the big one for me is developing on-campus housing for teachers and counselors and other critical educational staff. Have a bill looking at Lahaina Luna, and also the high school in Kihei, as well as potential places to build on-campus teacher housing for counselors, teachers, support staff, so we can attract and retain them and add to the campus life. Now, if they don't have to commute, takes the congestion away, and they can spend more time with the kids and be involved in the different campus activities as well that occur beyond school hours. And finally, environment. You know, environment's precious. We have to fight to protect and preserve it. We want to add some positions to build on the water quality testing lab that we have at UH Maui College. We also want to go ahead and look at nuisance dust. Our topsoil is being blown into the ocean. And we also got a pilot project we want to expand on to use R1 water to replace invasives for native species, which will help not only to bring native species back in, but control the flooding in the South Maui area.
What are some issues your community faces and how do you plan to address them?
Well, just like the state, our community faces many issues. My district is quite expansive. It's half the island of Maui. The main areas are South and West Maui. For West Maui, we've been trying to work on getting the extension of the bypass north. We have over 3,000 or more homes, many Native Hawaiian and affordable housing that was built because this highway was supposed to be constructed already. Department of Transportation has turned around and unilaterally yanked the money for this that we, the legislature, gave them. So I'm working with my colleagues to try to go ahead and refund what was already given so that we can bring all these needed units and a hospital online. South Maui, we need to build a grade separated crossing for the Kihei High School. The high school cannot open and get a certificate of occupancy until we build a grade separated crossing for the kids. And so funding that, design, build, and maybe getting a traffic emergency zone proclamation from the mayor and the governor to speed it up. And then, as I touched on before, going ahead and looking at fencing off areas around the two major gulches from access deer, and then taking the R1 pilot project that we did to expand it and get rid of the invasives and replant native species that will grab water and help slow it down so that we can stop the flooding that takes out the lower road all the time. Those are just some of the issues we're working on for those two areas. There's many more. It's going to be a busy full year, but we really want to focus in on this because these are things we think that will help to address the issues in our community in a big way.
What are some accomplishments you're proud of?
Well, it's my first term in the Senate, so none yet. But I was a member of the House for 16 years, and we did a lot of amazing things there. We got $600 million to help finally realize housing for Native Hawaiians. We put $300 million into the Rental Housing Affordable Trust Fund for rental assistance, as well as to help for the building of new affordable units, 2 projects of which are being constructed right now in West Maui. We also went ahead and I secured the largest land acquisition for space preservation in Maui history with securing Lapoa Point, which is known as Honolua Bay, which many of you surfers out there probably know well. But as a senator now, we have to build on this. We secured the land. Now we have to fund visitor reservation system, get a special fund going so we can tax the visitors, use their contributions to take care of the bay and the surrounding areas, build upon our prohibition against injection wells, bring in more water quality testing. And one of the biggest accomplishments I did was building the first 2 phases of the Lahaina bypass. So seeing the 3rd phase through is a big thing, but I'm also committed in following this Honopi'ilani realignment project forward. And finally, I did help, even though it wasn't my district, get the funding to build the Kalani Ho'okoi High School, which is the Kihei High School. And so getting this grade separated crossing done is super important as well.
Do you have any last words for your constituents?
You need to get involved. We need you in the game, the proverbial football game that is the legislature. Now the kickoff has begun, and Zoom testimony is available on all of the bills. You can testify via Zoom from your car, from your office, from your home, wherever. And from seeing it last year, it makes a big difference. Us legislators will interface with you just as if you were at the table. And this way you don't have to deal with flights, you don't have to deal with parking, don't have to deal with trying to get a hotel room potentially. You can jump on. We had a bad bill last year. We had people from Maui jump on via Zoom. One brought up from the beach park. We talked and discussed, asked questions, and we turned a bad bill into a good bill. I've seen a lot of good bills not even make it out of the gate because the public wasn't there. I've seen a lot of bad bills get all the way up to the governor's desk because the public wasn't there. But when the public has been there, I've seen good bills go, bad bills stop, but more importantly, bills that may start off as problematic get changed and refined and turned into good bills. We need you. This is not this is a participation sport. It's not a spectator sport. And democracy doesn't work unless you guys get in the game. So take advantage of Zoom, come and testify, send emails, get involved. The building is back open again. We need the public here because without you guys, the system breaks down and doesn't work.
Mahalo for your time. We wish you the best of luck.
Aloha, my name is Reverend Kaika Kanakanui Burns. I'm currently attending Island Pacific Academy. Today I'm here with Representative Cedric Gates of District 45. So, Representative, what is your goals for this upcoming legislative session?
My goals for this upcoming legislative session surround agriculture. I'm the agriculture chairman as well as food systems chairman. And one of the things that we want to make sure we do is double our food production so that we don't have to rely on mainland imports for us to eat here in Hawaii. So that's going to be one of my main goals, is to help our state double our food production. The second goal I have for Agriculture Committee is to raise funds for the Department of Agriculture so that we can do more work and help more farmers and our local community members. And then lastly, we want to also support our food pantries and food banks like Waianae Comprehensive Health Center in our District 45 that does outreach to make sure that our community never goes hungry. So we're going to make sure that we're supporting those efforts and supporting our community members as well.
What is some of your issues your community faces and how do you plan to fix it?
Some of the issues my community faces deals with homelessness. I know a lot of us can see those houseless individuals living on our beaches. And one of the ways I want to fix this issue is to provide low-cost housing. And Governor Green has a proposal to use Kauhale. Basically, it's these modular units, small homes for our most vulnerable population to be able to get off the streets and into a structured environment. So that's one of the issues. Another one is transportation. We have been working with the Department of Transportation as well as the city and county and federal government to open up the emergency access routes in Nanakuli and also to expand Farrington Highway to be 5 lanes all the way from Haleakala Avenue to Hakimo Avenue. So that's where we're at right now on those 2 issues.
What inspired you to become a leader?
I think role models in my life have inspired me to become the leader I am today. The first leader would be my father. He was instrumental in shaping me to who I am today. But in honor of also people like Martin Luther King Jr., who was also a big inspiration for me of how one person can spark a change that can revolutionize our way of life and the way people think. So those are 2 of the top ones. I would also throw in Barack Obama, President Barack Obama.
What inspired you? Do you have any last words for your constituents?
I would say get involved. Don't wait till it's too late. Everybody needs to participate in government because that's what makes government better than it is now, is when everybody's voices are being brought to the table. So I would encourage everyone to get involved in their community, but I'd also encourage everyone to vote to make sure that people that they support are going to get into office. And that's my last words.
Mahalo for your time and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Aloha, my name is Kalena Pulava. I'm in the 9th grade, currently attending Nanakuli High and Intermediate School. Today I'm here with Representative Darius Kila of District 44. So, Representative, what are your goals for this upcoming legislative session?
Well, thank you folks for coming on a busy day, which is opening day. The Capitol is alive. So really the thing that I've been pushing a lot is when we're doing equitable policy, it is equitable, right? Because when we're looking for change, it's not just change for you, not just change for me, it's change for them, and it's change for we. So when I think about policies, I want it to be equitable nonetheless. So I'm looking at how we can find better solutions for housing, working and addressing some of our mental health crises, but really also supporting our local farmers as well. A big priority that I'm pushing is that we can get a tax exemption or taro grants for farmers who specifically farm taro. Because here in Hawaii, taro farmers lose almost 30% of their revenue every single year just to farm in Hawaii. We actually import more than we export. So if Hawaii can become the lo'i patch for the world and we can support our farmers, we can keep taro here.
So what are some issues that your community is currently facing and how will you address them?
I think the issues that we're facing have been long before my time, but it's trying to figure out how we can address them in this time. So illegal dumping is a huge thing. We're looking at the cost of living is one of them, but also the ever-growing homelessness, right? These folks aren't houseless. They just can't find homes that are affordable. So if we can work on all of those issues in one silo or separate, I think we stand a good chance to succeed.
What inspired you to become a leader for your community?
Sometimes I don't think it's what you want to do, it's what others want to do. And I always want to be a conduit for change. When I talk about our residents and our community members alike, it's seeing how we can best use what we all want and then put it forth here in the legislature. I'm one of the youngest members here in the legislature alone and in the House of Representatives. And your voice, my voice, is sometimes not at the table. So I'm looking for ways to make sure young folks are at the table.
Is there anything that you would like to leave with your constituents?
I just want to say mahalo for the support, and I continue to ask that you folks engage. When I was at the neighborhood board last night with our Nanakuli Maili neighborhood board, I talked about that as much as it is my goals and priorities, what are your folks' goals and priorities? It's the Kako thing, so it's engaging, and I know it's sometimes hard to ask folks to do the extra legwork, but if you can help me craft a vision for our district, we stand better to serve this community. So that's all I ask. And then I continue to ask to look for ways to serve your household and your communities as well.
Mahalo for your time. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you folks so much. Aloha.
Aloha, my name is Jaylee Kanoy. I'm in the 11th grade attending Nanakuli High and Intermediate School. Today I'm here with Senator Keith Agaran of District 5. Aloha, Senator.
Thank you for coming again.
Thank you. Senator, what are your goals for this upcoming legislative session?
I think like every session, I really want to focus on Maui. I want to make sure that we have the kinds of jobs that are available everywhere. And also, my singular focus is actually on education and healthcare. And those go hand in hand because we need to have more people from Maui getting educated on Maui for our nurses, for medical technicians. And so I'm working to make sure those are available right there on the island.
What are some issues your community have faced and how do you plan to address them?
I think as we're coming out of the pandemic, I think we realized that we really had some shortcomings in terms of having certain services available and provided by our people. And so that's why I'm focused on making sure we can train our people on Maui.
What are some accomplishments you are most proud of from last session?
Well, I think we have laid the groundwork for some of the training. We put in money at UH Maui College for a Voltech building. We also are working now to provide more instructors so we can actually have as many people who want to be trained as nurses to be trained on the island.
That's really good to hear. Do you have any last words or message you'd like to say to your constituents?
Congratulations on being with Olelo. I think you came by last year too.
Yes. Well, mahalo, Senator. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Aloha, my name is Treasure Lewis. I'm in the 11th grade at Nanakuli High and Intermediate School, and I'm here with Senator Mike Gabbard of District 21. Aloha, Senator.
Aloha.
So tell me, Senator, what are your goals for this upcoming legislative session?
Well, Treasure, my goals are, 4 major goals that I have, but I just wanted to start off by saying that I have been chairing the Agriculture Environment Committee for the last 6 years. This will be my 7th year. And so my goals are really centered around agriculture and helping us keep paradise, the environment. So the first goal I have is cesspools, major problem. There are over 88,000 cesspools that dump 53 million gallons of raw sewage into our surface water and our groundwater every single day. So this is a crappy problem that we have that we've got to fix, right? Yeah. And so we've been working on it for a couple of years, but I'm hopeful that we'll come up with the final solution and what we can do to help with that. The second one is what we call the Green Amendment. And a Green Amendment has to do with, in our Hawaii Constitution, Article 1, the section there has the Bill of Rights, which is freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, right? So the idea is, why don't we add a Green Amendment that says every person has the right to clean water, clean air, healthy ecosystems, and a healthy environment. So that's the idea. Put it in there. If it goes out, if it passes the legislature, then the people get to vote on this in the next election. Number 3 is green fees, also called visitor impact fees. It's a no-brainer. Our feeling is everyone that comes here should help pay to help keep our beaches, our reefs, our parks, so we don't have to pay all. We have a couple of years ago, over 10 million tourists came here. So why shouldn't they help pay to upkeep our, as I said, keep paradise? And the fourth one is food systems. And that is, for those who are not aware of food systems are all the resources and activities that have to do with producing, distributing, consuming food. But it also includes waste disposal, right? So we have a big problem here in that we import 85 to 90% of our food at about $3 billion every year. That's what we pay. We know that that's a problem, but we haven't really sat down to work out a solution. And so what the bill I'll be reintroducing, it was also introduced last year, it'll help come up with a plan. And it incorporates people from all different walks of life, all different government agencies to come up with a solid plan. So those are my priorities.
I'm so glad to hear that you care about the environment and the people. It's honestly lovely to hear about that from a legislator. So leading into that, tell us about some issues that your community face, and then how do you plan on addressing them?
Well, Treasurer, the Kapolei, I've been out there. I got elected in 2006, and as the second city. It's the largest city on Oahu. The population has doubled in the last 10 years. And so we've got some issues to keep up with all this growth. And one is keeping up with the power, the electricity, keeping up with the roads, and also broadband. So I'm working with the Kapolei Chamber of Commerce and also other stakeholders and businesses in the area to help address those issues.
So after that, let's take a step back. And what are some accomplishments that you're proud of from last session?
Well, last session was amazing. 9 of the bills that I introduced related to ag actually passed. And so we were kind of excited about that. 3 of the ones I just want to highlight. One was farmer apprentice mentoring, where we use our kupuna who have been farming all their lives, for example, and help teach our young people all the tricks and the things that they learned out there in the fields and stuff. So that will help them setting up that program. Another one is government agencies have to start buying local produce. And it's a graduated thing, starts off with 5% and goes all the way up in the next 10 years or so, up to 50%. So that helps our farmers, right? And then the third one was a bill helping our farmers and with emergency ag loans, when emergencies, natural disasters, or whatever happens, that farmers will be able to get an emergency loan at low interest.
That does sound like a great year. So tell me, what inspired you to become a legislator?
Well, what inspired me was my wife, actually. Back in 2000, she decided to run for Board of Education. And we're former teachers and, watch the evening news, you read the papers, and I know many people out there, they just start getting angry and they, start throwing things at the TV or ripping up the newspaper. Carol and I, we said, okay, there are these issues. Why don't we run for office? So Carol ran for Board of Education. She got elected. And then in 2002, I ran for city council and I got elected. And at the same time, my daughter Tulsi, who is 21, she ran for House of Representatives and she got elected. So here we have the Gabbard family on the Board of Education, in the city council, and also in the state house. And believe me, we had some very interesting conversations. But the whole point is, don't just complain, get involved and do something, and that was the path that we decided to do, is to run for office.
I really like that. So finishing off, do you have any last words for your constituents?
My last words for my constituents is get involved, really. It's, as I was just saying, it's one thing to sit around and just complain about things, but everybody can get involved. And it's not just voting. Understand what the issues are in your community. And if there is a problem, whether it's potholes or the homeless, any kind of problems that you have, contact your council person, contact your representative or your senator, depending on what the issue is, ask them for help and get involved. That's the most important thing. That's how, a lot of folks think that we just sit down here in the square building and come up with all these ideas for bills to introduce, to pass into laws by ourselves. No, we depend on people out there to say, look, why don't you look at this issue? Why don't you look at that issue? And we go, wow, I never thought of that. And we start it. And that starts the path for a bill to become law.
Mahalo nui for your time.
Absolutely. Aloha.
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 Mahalo for watching
Youth Capital Commentary.